afternoon, everyone. My name is Katie. Welcome back to the Atelier Nekazuki live stream of consciousness. And today is June 10th, 2026, and it has been a while. I know this is not as big a deal for everyone else as for me, but you know, still a pretty big deal. Today we're going to go in and we are going to be working on wrapping up on the belt bags that got left behind before Otafest. We got a stack of them here. We didn't do too bad. A lot of them got finished, but I'm like prepping for a shop update and stuff like that. So I figure, well, we may as well like try to lock in and get them done. There's a stack of them, but like I said, nothing insane. And I was kind of like, well, it's rainy outside today, so we're not gonna get the like photos done today. So if I get some more stock done, we will be actually better off. So just pulled a random one here. We'll work on it here in a moment. I'm just getting the a story post done. And then next week, I think we're going to, in the next few days. Actually, what I should do is I should pull the small box bags out and actually get them top stitched, since that's where I'm hung up on them. No, I didn't actually copy the freaking link. It's like, hey, come join me on the link I didn't provide yet. Copy. I actually have, by the way, my little like space heater on right now because it's cold. I am the chilliness right now, and I'm just like, I am not here to be cold right now. Okay. Put my phone in its like little, this has been one of the best like little tripod-y things. I actually need to go through and review do my video stuff from Japan itself, because I have not done that yet. Okay, I'm going to just shrink the window here so that I can see the chat. No, I need to be able to see the video so I actually know what the hell I'm showing you. Doom. There we go. Okay, cool. We're set up. Awesome. So yeah, we got a whole little stack of, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an important piece for the one that's sitting right here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't know if this is supposed to be connected to anything, but there's a back in there. 9, 10, 11. Okay, actually, we might be able even, I've only got a couple hours of work available to me right now because honest hand God sort of shit. It's like we survived May. We survived April and we survived May. I don't know how we did it, but we've done it. There was like 5 birthday things to do in May and the half and Otafest, and we were still like reeling from fucking April, so we're here. Are we thriving? No. Did we survive? Remains to be seen, I think. I'm not 100% sure how to answer that one for you. Okay, those are my snips right now. We don't, excuse me, we don't need the shears right away. We'll be working on these guys. Okay, so okay, that is your backing. This is important. That's the interior. What we need to do next is we need to do the, oh shit balls. We need all of these guys. And we need to also we'll freight check them as we put them in. That's fine. Okay, and then this is this, right? Yes, good. Okay. I am going to double check what the actual pattern calls for here. And then we'll go in. I have to do this every single time I do this pattern because it's just like, I think I know. But you know what? It's one of those things where it's better to check twice and sew once than to have to redo it. La 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 la. I've already got the pattern. I just need your instructions. Could have done this off stream 100%, but you know, whatever. Basically, we just have to try to smash it together as tidily as we can. Just remember, this one also has to be redone because we missed the stitching across the top. So I'm going to actually do this one right now, and then it's done. It's not like hanging out in my brain, being like, hey, you still need to sew me. So Otafest was a wild ride this year. Still up in sales, so thank you so much for everyone who came out and supported me because hi. Times are crazy right now. But like we did really good on Friday. Cool. Like double what I did last year, which yeah, already insane. And then Friday was like half of what I did last year. Concerning. And then yeah, we got to Sunday and we were still up on Sunday. So it was insanity. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. Like, yay, but holy shit. Nerve-wracking. I was also like, after Friday, I was like, hell yeah, this will be like an amazing weekend. And it was still an amazing weekend, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that Saturday definitely put me on edge. Okay, so the way I was doing this that seemed to work better this last time is I kind of like 3D'd the shape a bit more, which means let's start down here. I know this looks like it's not going to match, but then we can like pull this in and match it up here. So anyway, that was good. The weather was nuts. So I think that did actually impact Saturday a bit because it was like, it actually snowed quite a bit. And so it was like people who had like a weekend ticket that didn't have to be down there. Saturday is also obviously a lot of the event stuff is on Saturday. So cosplay contests and all of that. So what is your seam allowance? I'm pretty sure I know it. No, that's the amount of stuff. Cool. No seam allowance. That's right. It is a free pattern. So. La 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 la. Just gonna make sure it's not like. Oh, there it is. Okay. This width or this amount, unless otherwise specified, and I'm pretty sure it's not otherwise specified anywhere in the pattern. Okay. Yes, I hate the fact that I cannot chain piece these really. Oh well, deal with it, Katie. Okay. Now we're gonna do that. And we're gonna do this. That is not the correct seam allowance, so we are gonna go back in and we'll just stitch it down backwards. I also had thought that so eldest is done kindergarten as of this week. And I swear the grad party was supposed to be tomorrow. And no, it's actually Friday. I'm like, oh, okay. In my brain, it was tomorrow. in my calendar and everywhere else, it says that it is on Friday. So I'm like, well, at least past Katie was actually thinking clearly. Or at least a little bit. Current Katie is definitely not. Yeah. Yeah, so after we get all these belt bags done, we also have a crap ton of minis to do. We need to do restock on Kato because, Kato are still one of the best sellers. We need to restock on our straps. I'm also going to take a bunch of straps to Caroline the day of the Stampede breakfast. Yeah, that's better. So it crunches the like zipper up a little bit, but honestly, it gives the bag more shape. It's more 3D than not doing it this way. So this is how we're going to continue. Anyway, yeah, so it's like small box bags need to be completed. We need to do we need to cut new small box bags. I want to finish the ones that are in the tote right now. I have, once again, are we shocked, reorganized the studio a little bit. In part because we got the new sewing machine in, but then I was really looking at how we're using the fabric room, and I'm like, there's a shelf in the storage room here that I do not use because I hate it where it's placed. It was like tucked away behind our water heater and our furnace. And so it was just like, I'm like, everything that's stored here will store better if the shelf is out of the way. And like, then I can take the shelf and put it in the fabric room and store a bunch of stuff on it instead. Because most of like what was a mess in the fabric room now was all the, it's a bunch of boxes. I need more storage room now for like sheets and dress shirts and all the stuff that we're upcycling for pockets and things like that, because I'm really enjoying how that is working. But it takes up a different space than just having a roll of fabric like we do on the cutting table. So, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll take up some, we're still going to take up some shelf space in the storage room, but this is going to like lift up all the like random boxes of whips. And then it's also going to clean up some of the bins that are out here that are like just waiting until I actually have the time to work on them, if we're going to work on them. I did figure out what we're going to do with all those tote cuts. I kept talking about like, what the fuck are we going to do? Considering that we've got a bunch of tote cuts done. But what we're going to try is we're going to try the totes without a zip. Because I clued into this the other day when I was chatting with Caroline again, because I was down there making sure she was restocked. And we chatted again about how she prefers like the wax canvas totes with the snap versus the zipper, because then it's just a tote bag. And I was like, I wonder if that's part of what happens with the big bag that I make currently, is that they've all got zips in them. So there's a few with zippers to finish, but then I'm going to try a run with snaps, and we're going to see, because I'm like, and then I don't have to like redesign the freaking tote bag, because I was like, what am I going to use this stuff for anymore, right? I could cut it down to do some X, Y, Z. If you've watched this stream for a while, you know I've been like whinging about this, whining about it for like the past year. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to just do open top totes. I haven't decided yet if we are going to do snaps, or if that's going to be more like add on a snap if you would like, and then we'll do a leather washer around the snap so that it's got the like stabilization of that, which I think will work. Otherwise, I don't know. By the way, the cylinder arm, I don't know if some of you may not have been around for this, but the cylinder arm for these guys even was fucking amazing for like being able to do this top curved seam and everything like that. So good. Okay, do I do the interior or the exterior? I think I do the exterior, and then we go in and we do the interior. Yes, because the interior has to, is like the turning opening. First things first, we need this. Actually, fuck this. I'm gonna go in and fray check all of them, because I was just like, wait, why are we breaking up our flow to fray check? Okay, this one's already done. That one's already done. This one needs to be done. Not done. Why I have some done and some not is some were cut to be already, but I had leftover pieces from like that were too short to actually make straps from. So a lot of this is a cut down of that basically. That needs to be freight checked. Do I think these need to be freight checked when they're sewn in as they are? Probably not. But I like the insurance of them being freight checked and not having to worry about it. Just not having to think about it. So here we are. Let's finish up the freight check. I'm not going to worry too much about making sure that they dry before we use them. Because honestly, they'll dry in the bag. And freight check is invisible. So dries clear. That's the benefit to freight check versus like a nail polish or something like that, is it will dry clear. So and thank you to anyone and everyone who came out to the Inglewood DIY festival. It was such a shitty day. I was very concerned, but yeah, it went extremely well. So I appreciate Veronica and all of her staff putting that event together. It's a lot of fun. It was really cool because there was a lot of new people because it brought in so many different makers. But that was really good for me. And then, yeah, and the kids came and booth bratted for the first time. And since it's a rainy day, it was going to be an iPad day anyway. That's basically what they did. They hung out though. Tara came down and spawed me off for a little bit, and they chatted with her too, so that was good. Yeah, it was just a good day. It's almost my birthday. My birthday is June 20th. Yeah, we're just kind of finishing out the year. The kids will be in summer camps the weeks that Dallas is gone. I'm like going to start trying to figure out curriculum for homeschooling here. We'll see what happens. And then, yeah. And that's part of why I want to get the studio tidied up too, is that we'll be down here for schooling quite a bit. So it's like getting it a little bit more efficient in terms of like storage and stuff like that's going to be good. Again, finishing up a lot of the whips is also going to help a lot. So that's why it's like, okay, I should actually sit down and finish up those small box bags, because then we can turn that into whip bin for like all the minis. Collect everything in there for that sort of thing. And yeah, we need to go in and cut kato, and I realized that I did that whole round of like cuts that is like, oh, these will be minis and small box bags, and they're a little bit small. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a run of like extra small box bags. It's like, it's not a big difference, but it's enough that I'll notice. It's about a 1 inch difference. But yeah, I think we'll work on those. We got the fabric catalog updated and emailed off to our suppliers in Vancouver, retailers in Vancouver. Yeah, so just kind of trying to crank along here. We got a busy summer ahead of us, even though we don't have any shows in June. Actually, we do have a show. Shoot, I need to put it on the list. I will be at the Midsummer Festival in 3 weeks. Yeah, with Usagi Jinja in Calgary. And then we've got Stampede Pancake Breakfast, and then we have Omatsuri. And then we'll have nothing in August, which is good because we'll be prepping for Knit City. And at that time, we will also be prepping for Art Market in November. I should actually do up a graphic for the website. I'm going to have a computer work day on Monday, so that'll be stuff to do then. So we're going to try and get a lot of this finished right now. And then I can photograph it and edit on Monday. Even if I don't get it like posted, at least I can like, I'm one step closer to stuff being done, so. All right, everything is pre-checked that I currently have cut. Given that we only have 11 bags, we probably have enough. I don't know if I have enough straps yet, but that is a future Katie problem, even if that's only like 15 minutes from now. Okay, these are all drying, so let's pop them in here. I will prioritize the ones that are already dry, because that makes more sense. Yeah. And we're trying to do, Dawson and I are challenging ourselves to do a lower tech summer. That does not mean like no TV and stuff like that, but it definitely means like I want the kids off their devices as much as possible. So yeah, we did pretty good this week. It is rainy, so that's going to impact what we do, but the weekend is actually supposed to be really nice. So, and like Disney movies at night instead of like sitting down to use your iPad sort of thing. That's where I'm trying to be. Got like, I thought that we actually had 2 more weeks of soccer, but it's actually finished next week, which is, soccer's really good for them, and I'm really glad that it's going to be done. Like, yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I'm not having the soccer this year. And actually, my eldest is also done with soccer, because last night they were like laying in the middle of the field, and it's like, child, I get that you're tired. A, though, if you want to get better, you do have to practice, and B, it's distracting to the other kids, because then a bunch of other kids went and laid with them, and I'm just like, no. It's one thing for you to be tired and laying down, is another thing to like being enabling the other kids. And then we got canceled because of thunderstorms. Although one of the dads that I know was like bitching about that. And we have technology to know if it's like right above us. It's like there was literally a guy killed at this field like when Dallas was a kid. So, and you want to be out when you can hear thunder? They were following the 30-30 rule, right? So it's like if you hear thunder, you take a 30-minute lapse, right? I'm like, I would much prefer to be safer to struck by lightning. Thank you very much. But kind of sucked that, like, it still sucks that it cut the tractors off, but I'm like, nah, better safe than sorry. Like, seriously. Okay. So we have to sew the 3 edges of this first, and then we sew the interior in, and then we sew the top. Why it's done that way, I don't know. But it's all good. We'll just do it. No, I'm not clipping this up, because honest to God, it is more difficult with the webbing curled up. But basting it does help significantly, so that's why we've started doing that at least. Okay, back stitch over that webbing. Oh shoot, I've got a custom order for a strap that I also need to fulfill. She ordered it at Dawson, and I forgot. She kindly reminded me the other day that I need to get that done. So it's like, great, I gotta get that done. And like, there's actually a couple orders to ship right now too. I will say the like online sales are not where I make the majority of my money. It is a nice little like booster though, so we'll keep it up. But I always forget to ship stuff. Turn. Yay. Also, I am going to be changing my policies on repairs, because I just got burnt on one that I received. We are going to start covering I am going to start providing a 1-year warranty for manufacturing defects, which means that like if a seam is exposed or anything like that, I will 100% take it back for that year, 365 days, and do any repairs on it. Easy peasy. If it is an issue with the fabric or wear and tear or anything else that isn't my fault, basically, this is where we're at. Repairs will be $40 an hour plus materials. Because I just got a return back. The way that she explained it, it sounded like I messed up the seam at the base of the bag and it was my fault. I got it back and it was the fabric. And so it's like, I felt a little bit disingenuous. And the other part of this is it felt like the thing about all of the Obi fabrics is they're all secondhand. So they're not necessarily going to be like, they're not a new fabric. So they are coming with all sorts of fabric baggage of like wear and tear that's already occurred. So this is part of why I'm going to bring this caveat in of it cannot be a fabric thing. Also put a note on the bags and everything like that. But anyway, as of right now, repairs will be $40 an hour on that sort of thing, plus materials, because in this case, I had to disassemble the bag, remove the piece, and then put in a new piece and sew the bag back up, which is it's a lot of work. It was 2 to 3 hours of work between a couple of bags. Now the other one, the other one that she gave me was because I had missed the seam, and I have zero problems fixing that. So, because that's my fault. That's not the fabric or anything like that. But in the other case, seriously, I thought that, again, how she explained it, it was a missed seam or something like that. No, it was just a fabric wearing out. So, and for the price of the bag, now the sale of that bag was a loss. So, you kind of get caught sometimes, right? Not knowing. So there will also be a validation process and stuff like that too. So, for the 1 year guarantee, there will need to be a receipt provided. So I'll be sending out receipts for anything sold with Obi from now on, because cover us both. I think it's fair. And the repairs are at a higher rate than what I charge typically for my new sews, which I think is also fair. Anyway, I was feeling cranky this weekend, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna introduce an actual repairs policy, because I can't do it, right? It's like, if I'm not sewing new stuff, I'm not making money. And I'm happy to provide repairs. I would much prefer that you use the bag you have, but I also can't do it for free, because here's the thing, if that had gone to a repair shop, they would have been charging that much or more than I was. And it makes sense for me to provide the repairs because I know how the bag is assembled, but yeah, I can't continue to do it for free in this situation. Here's the thing, I've had stuff I've had webbing pop out of seams, or I've had seams just not catch, right? And I haven't caught it until after it's sold. Those sorts of manufacturing defects are something that I will be happy to cover. But disassembling and reassembling a bag will start falling under a repair policy. If it's the fabric's fault. So, anyway, I will make this clear on the website, but just so everybody knows. All right, now we're good to go. So what ended up happening there is I actually caught the bottom of the interior fabric when I was sewing originally. So here we go. We can do both sides, whatever. See, that needs to be shoved out of the way. By the way, I'm extremely glad that I booked I booked the next flight to Japan with points, and thank fuck I did, because they've all gone up in price. And even at that point, I paid in October what I have previously paid to go to Japan in peak cherry blossom season. I'm like, ugh, gross. So I think there might be some recalculations coming to fabric costs here and stuff like that. Still cheaper than importing, and still better than importing. There we go. Maybe not. It's comparable pricing to importing. Because the thing is everyone's getting hit by higher fuel costs for sure. All right, there we go. Good. So we are going to finish all of these, and then we'll go in and we will do all of the turning and finishing seams at the end. Right now what we got to do is we got to stretch it out, and we got to get all 4 layers sewn together here. I really do like this pattern because it comes together so nicely typically. That it's just like nice and smooth and easy. This is the bag that I actually carried with me to Japan. Posted a carousel the other day of like, I didn't even think about this, but I was like, oh yeah, it's like in all of the photos. And it will be the bag that I'm carrying with me again in October. It held 4 passports. It's like the perfect mom bag because it was like, you still need a backpack, but all the essentials. So passports, it held my medication. It held my sunglass case. I have the triangle case from Costco. Like all the essential stuff that you have to carry when you're in Japan, because you have to carry your passport, you have to carry your wallet. I was using one of the little mini bifold wallets, by the way. Reppin' Nikuzuki all the way through. So yeah, it was like amazing. I am considering that I might make the bigger size. No, we're not going to repeat a bag. Because I was just like, wait, no, there's other shit to make. Because what popped into my head as soon as I said that, I'm like, but what about the water bottle holders? And passport folders. Oops. Right, we'll work on those. I really want passport folders for November. I think that's when we'll launch those. We are going to go into the ones that I already have cut, and we're going to make a bunch of singles. Mostly because they're not going to work for what I was planning with the like family ones. But then we'll go in and I will find what I'm going to do for a family passport holder, because honestly I need it because my folder is no longer big enough for everyone. And yes, I fit it in our belt bag, but they needed a little bit more protection in there. Given that I had to carry them like every day. And I just found out that apparently you're only allowed to get your passport replaced like once without question if it's damaged or like lost. I'm like, well, that's 2 very different circumstances, but okay. It prevents fraud. Makes sense, right? But I'm like, let's give these a little bit more protection than they had previously. So I think what we'll do is I'll go in and we'll slightly revamp what I currently have cut and make it single passport folders, because I don't want to waste the fabric. The idea is still very sound. I think a passport folder for someone who's like, my fabrics come from Japan, is like a really good idea, right? It also feels like it's a really good gift item especially if I'm able to keep the costs like reasonable. So that's part of what we're going to work on over the summer. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to be working more when Dallas is home over the summer. We definitely want to be adventuring with the kids as well, but I have a feeling that that'll be on pause on the weekends typically. It's like, it's already busier on the weekends, so why worry so much about it when we don't have to travel on the weekends? Yeah, I think that'll be good. Actually, I probably don't need to cut these every single time, but it is making it easier than chain piecing it. Yeah, hell yeah, there we go. Hell yeah, there we go. Hell yeah, there we go. need to have a meeting with, so Smirking Cat Yuki is going to be joining me in my booth at Knit City. She makes, she's an illustrator, and yeah, Japanese Canadian illustrator, and she illustrates like stuff for tea towels and stuff and things like that, like household goods, which they're super cute. I have a bunch, they're amazing, and like the fabric is really high quality too. I think she might get it printed in Canada. I'm not 100% sure there, but it's like cotton linen blends now, and they're so good. She usually also has some tote bags, all of that. But anyway, I gotta meet up with her because we gotta plan out the booth, because I don't know how much space she needs or wants to take, and then that's going to impact my setup as well, obviously. So we'll get it figured out, but I think Knit City, Calgary will be a really good spot to like, for her as well, especially with the cats, All right, now we're gonna sew the X, and then we can go in and do the interior exterior. This one's definitely getting black hardware. And then at the very, very end, we sew the straps. Now they do actually have you sew the strap in pattern. They have you sew the straps before you do this next step, but I find having the hardware in the bag outside of the D-ring is too bulky, personally. So we do it this way. However, do as the instructions say, not as I do, because we're a chaos gremlin here. By the way, I think we will have enough. Okay, belt bags were like one of the most popular items at Otafest last year, and then no one touched them this year, and I'm like, well, barely touched them. Actually, one of the cutest interactions I had, I think, is a boyfriend came up, and he's like, my girlfriend's always talking about your bag and uses it all the time, and then he bought her another one in, I think she had the mini already, and so he bought her a belt bag, and then he came back and bought a Kato too, and I was like, I love it. Obviously, like, I love the fact that I made the sale, but also it was just like super cute. It was like, good on you for recognizing something that your girlfriend uses every day and like, adding basically to it, right? Like, that's super cool. And then there's just, I don't know, it was just good. Just a wholesome interaction. Approved. Okay, which way am I doing these? So if we're looking at the front, it's towards the opening. Yes, that makes sense, because then it's, okay, so it's on this side. Make sure it's far enough down. I do stitch this in. A, double stitching a strap is never a bad idea, especially with the secondhand denim. B, it does help that it's not like flip-flopping around while I'm sewing. Always good. There we go. Yay, and then we'll have a bunch of new stock ready for like, for the update. Okay, we got 1, 2, oh, I lied. This one does have, yeah, whatever, we can do that. Okay. We've got 2. So let's do, usually I don't do the hardware, but since it's already ready, why not? It'll save me a bit of time at the end. And then here. Okay, and then we got 1, 2, 3, and 2 white left. So 3 black, 2 white. So we will just need, oh wait, okay, good. 3 black, 2 white. 3 black, 2 white. This one's definitely going to be black. This one will be white. So black, let's just, I know, I totally got distracted, but whatever. 3 black. So 1 white for the mushrooms, neon mushrooms, white strap, and then black for the family crests on black. I think the mushrooms, yeah, these mushrooms have a black. So even though realistically they should be white, we're gonna go with black there. White for pixel cats. And when I say white, it's like off-white, obviously. Are you connected? You're connected. Oh, are you finished? Oh, you need a snap. That's what you're waiting for. That's right. Okay. Also got some more stuff back here that needs to be put into the D-stash. There's actually a couple of people I should follow up with that might want it. Ooh, we need to restock grime guards, actually, was one of the big ones. We're not sold out yet, but we're definitely on the way. So is this okay? Where did my freight check go? Bum bum. I'm like, I know it's here somewhere because we just used it and I didn't put it away because of this sort of thing. You never know. Never know. Wait, what else do we have? We've got the cats here. Okay, the other fruit cats have a very dark back. That needs to be dark as well because that's the more masculine color. But honestly, both of the sun... Okay, so the dark here. Oh, wait. Do we only need to cut one? My God, that's actually kind of annoying. Okay. Yeah, and then even though these are dark, they'll look really good with a lighter strap. Yes, I know the lighter strap can show more dirt more quickly. More quickly? It'll show dirt more quickly. Yeah, more dirt quickly. But that's okay. So this is the only one missing a strap right now. Am I out of... Okay, we're like, Katie, just sew your goddamn bags. I know. But hey, it cleared up the spot beside my sewing machine. Yay, me! I'm more distracted by the fact I'm like, okay, I know I went and I got more webbing because I was like, I don't know. I didn't know how long this was going to take. We don't actually have all the belt bags finished yet either. Because there were some that I was like, if I don't start sewing, we're not getting shit done. Obviously we didn't get a lot done. So they don't have any webbing cut now either because obviously we've used it all up here. And then we also need to cut all the webbing for the mini traveler slings. So I think the next big thing we should probably do outside of doing small box bags, well, we definitely want to do minis because they've still been really popular and I'm down to like 2. Which, by the way, if you want either of those 2, prices are increasing on this next round because they are a lot of goddamn work. Yeah. And sure. Oh, or is this one? Oh no, this is the one I just cut. Anyway, so where was I actually in what am I talking about? I think I was talking about the fact that I do have 2 more rolls of webbing here. Actually, I have 1 more roll of black and then I've got 2 more of natural because I think we're actually fully, yeah, we've used up the roll of natural. So the next few days will probably be like, we're gonna get these belt bags done today. I was going to have a computer work day on Friday, but now that kindergarten grad is on Friday instead of tomorrow, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to continue sewing and try and get as much done as we can. Because on top of now the grad being a different day than I remembered, which is my fault, the weather is shit the next couple of days too. So it's like, if I wait till the weekend, the kids can draw in the driveway and I can take photos in front of the house and it's sunny. So let's just finish as much as we can in the next couple of days. Why not, right? You can see the skim on that cup really well from there. Also realizing that probably what I would like to do is you may want to actually view more of my desk than me in some ways. Let's put you down here so you actually see what the hell I'm working on. Can we do, no, that's a good spot. There we go. I was actually looking at new cameras. Oh, right. The only problem with this is sometimes this actually takes, okay, no, we're good. Sometimes it gets really blurry when we have it zoomed in like this. Also, I found a new ring yesterday. I love it. This is super cute. It's by a local maker. It's actually the fearless leader of our smutty book club. It's like silver and brass. So the brass does smell a bit because I forgot about this. I like the color of it, but I forgot that I tend to react to brass. But it's super cute. The other one was like copper, and I was like, I didn't like the orangey. It was like too, I don't know. I didn't like the coloration of it. I like this better. But I forgot about my reaction to brass because I always react to like the Addy knitting needles and stuff like that. One of my worst interactions with a freaking yarn store was so Addie's got a lifetime guarantee. I bent the needle because I was trying to do a like knit through 7 or something like that. Insanity, but honestly it should have held up to it because it was a metal knitting needle and they have a lifetime warranty. And what she got caught up on was she's like, you're doing this? I'm like, yes, it was in the pattern. And she's like, oh, you've worn all the like the finish off of them. And I'm like, yes, and that's not what it's okay, so that should be covered under warranty too. Like what yes, and like, oh, it was so, but it's one of those stores in Calgary that's just like, it's notorious for absolutely terrible customer service. So I just don't shop there anymore. Not that I've really shopped at a local yarn store recently outside of like picking up a couple things from Caroline's. So, because here's the blunt truth, I am definitely not knitting as much as I used to. Although the youngest did pick up some yarn that they wanted socks knit from the other day. So I'm like, hell yeah, finally. It's rainbow yarn. And then because their feet have grown so much, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be smart and I'm going to get little mini skeins to actually make the heels and toes. So it's rainbow and then the heels and toes and actually, well, no. The plan is the cuff and the toe for sure and probably the heel just because then I don't have to worry about it matchy-matching and they want them to be matchy-matchy. But, anyway, long story short, all my stories are long in summary. Anyway, it's going to look like the clouds coming over rainbows, right? Because like a little off-white toe and a little off-white cuff. And it's just like, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be fucking adorable. And then the eldest also chose some yarn and they've already got a pair of socks that they absolutely adore, so I have no qualms about knitting them socks. The youngest, I had picked out yarn for them and they're like, no, I don't want socks. And then they were like super enthusiastic. I think they saw that the eldest got socks and they're like, oh wait, I do want socks. It's like, yeah, you do. So I'm just glad that they chose a color, like they're able to choose a color that they enjoyed. And it was from the booth beside me, and they do like half skeins. They do the self-striping. It's Comfy Cozy Knits. May as well give her a shout out. Yeah, they do like half skeins of self-striping, which is super useful, especially for kids' socks. Because like I only need 50 grams. I don't need to pay for a whole skein for them. Hell, I barely need a whole skein most of the time, especially if I'm doing shorty socks. So anyway, and our colors are really good. And this one's really neat because it's like, so it's Roy G. Biv, full rainbow. And the red is like a thicker stripe, and then everything else is thinner stripes, which I didn't realize when I picked it up because I don't think there was actually a sample. She does really good about usually having a sample of all her colors. I'm not mad about it. So I like surprises for this stuff sometimes. But yeah, both her and her kiddo were with her, and they were like, "Are they twins?" And I'm like, "No, they are 11 months apart." I am sorry to disappoint, but they were like legitimately asking because actually her kiddo that was with her is a twin. I was like, "Oh, that's super cool," but no. I know this isn't like super disappointing, but sorry to disappoint. Okay, bobbin case is pretty clear. I need to actually go grab the other spool of yarn back so we can wind this next bobbin. Give me a moment. It's on the cylinder arm because I haven't bought thread again yet. It is time, just hasn't happened. We did use up another spool of Gutermann the other day, winding that bobbin. So this is the last spool of Gutermann from however long ago. Black always lasts me longer than white because we use a lot less black than white, obviously. And actually, I'm gonna open up the... Oh, it's only 3 o'clock. Sweet. Yeah, that's better. It is very windy out. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to postpone pictures. Besides the fact that we're going to be able to finish a bunch of stuff. Because now I'm like, hell, yay, if I finish it, I can photograph it and get it listed. But like outside of that, it's just miserable outside. I wasn't going to be taking photos anyway. And then I was like, well, I should go tidy up. And I'm like, no, go sew. Go sew, and then like maybe tonight I do some tidy up after the kiddos are home. That's actually probably what I'll do. Although they had a really late night last night because it was book club night, and my brother-in-law wasn't home because my niece is convocating today, which is super exciting. BA in archaeology, and I think a minor in Norwegian. I can't remember what their minor is in. Anyway, yeah, so they ended up going up to my like father and mother-in-law's, and so I wasn't done until 9. Then we weren't home until like just after 9, obviously. And then they didn't fall asleep until like maybe 10 o'clock. I'm like, whew. So we had a late. It actually was our latest morning that we've ever had getting to school this morning, unless there was like a doctor's appointment sort of thing. So like 8:45 or something like that. Usually I'm pretty good at least at getting them there by about 8. So well, but we all needed the chill. There was less fight to get them out the door and stuff this morning. So yay. All right, this one's super cute. The sister color of it, the pink, I'm also like, it's just game finished as well. I accidentally caught so when I was sewing it, I accidentally caught the webbing in the stitching, and I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't work then. Oh yeah, we got our gardens planted the other day. Dallas we had another like kind of raised bed situation. That is so blown out. This is part of why I was actually looking at some different cameras today. I was in like right now I'm comparing the Elgato face cam blah 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 fancy numbers to the current like the Brio, which is what we have right now, and I'm like and in the tests that I am seeing, the Logitech, now it is really good for like low light situations, but like we don't have low light really and stuff. And honestly, the whole skipping while like the lag that happens and the blurriness that happens sometimes is honestly driving me nuts. So we might be changing out the camera today. Or not today, but this year. I don't know yet. That is like caveat upon caveat right now. We are creeping closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark though. We're 884 right now. So as always, if you think someone might enjoy a typically swearier, very chaotic live stream, please send them my way. Yeah, and actually let me know in the comments below, especially if you're watching this later, or even now, throw it in the live chat. Like, what would you actually like to see from me? I know I'm doing, like, basically live stream of all my work. But, like, what else do you want to see? Because realistically, I need to diversify my content and actually be posting some other videos and stuff like that. I still have quite a bit from Japan I should actually be posting. So I think that's what I'll work on. That's part of what I want to work on over the weekend and on Monday as well. And stuff like that. And I think I'll do some, like, there'll be more after I'm there by myself. Because honestly, I was shocked with how much and how little I actually got when we were there with the kids. So it was tough. But, like, I've never tried to actually do that sort of work with them either. So it's not like, yeah. Wait, no, it is this side. Okay. Oh, it's such a good fabric. Love it. I am so excited to sew some small box packs from all of these. Okay. One side. Okay, this is going to be actually from the bottom up. And then oh shit, I need to start the winding of the bobbin. So we have a bobbin when we're finished this one. Extremely useful to have your bobbin ready when you're done. Yay! Well, yeah, we're already starting to line up some shows for next year as well, just to tease in February, which is nice because we don't have a lot early on in the year. But I will get you details for that as I'm able. I can't really. I'm just gonna throw that out there and tease y'all. Maybe you can make a guess what I might be vending at, but yeah, we'll definitely let you know once we're closer to the dates. I think this year is pretty settled for what's going to happen now. Yeah, so let's just hope we get a full send year. Everything kind of like just chugs along like it is right now, because we are doing better than I anticipated this year, given everything going down. And I probably will say that every year for the next few years, because my God, everything going down. Holy shit, y'all. This thing needs some roll bars. I don't know. Something. Can we get off this ride, please? But thank you so much for continuing to support my small business through this insanity. And like, yeah, because here's the thing. I always see those posts of like, when you buy from a small business, you're not helping a millionaire, like, or billionaire. We're not against the millionaires. We're against the billionaires. Like, buy their umpteenth yacht you're helping to pay for, like, dance lessons. And that is bluntly quite true. Sales go directly into making sure that my kiddos are well-rounded individuals. Obviously, it's also getting reinvested in the business, with the travels and stuff like that to Japan. But like, even that is quite significant for the children too. So yeah, it's Girl Guide registrations, it's Beavers registrations, it's paying for the childcare so that they are also getting raised. It's also to help me feel like I am a person outside of being mum. So thank you. All right, I think this needs a gold. D-ring, and then this. So we went and I ran, so I just ran Calgary half marathon at Calgary Marathon. They call it Calgary Marathon, but I did the half. Moving time was 2:45 and some change, which, hallelujah, we still got it considering that I like ran, I don't know, a handful, like literally probably 5 times since February, and none of those broke 7K. Actual like official time was 3:06:25. The piss off part of this is that it just proves that if it had not been stupid hot at Osaka, I would have finished. I had it in me. I was there, but I'm like half delusional that I should go run it next year, like apply and do it next year, but I'm like, I do not want to be training for a marathon this year. I'm like, there's enough going on with the business and the kid transferring to homeschooling and all of that nonsense, but my God, am I so tempted. I'm like, should I? Probably not. Probably whine and complain about it the whole god time. Actually, do you know what? I think it would be easier to do it this time because I know I can do it. But at the same time, I'm like, if I take the year off like I'm planning, being sensible would be to take the year off. I can strength train and like do all the other things and regain a little bit of trust with my body and lose the last little bit of weight that's like hung around because I plateaued and all of that, which I did go up in my Ozempic dose recently. Now, again, GLP-1s are amazing, actually. I am shocked. My A1C has come down like a full percentage point in just over a year, with just a medication change, essentially. So I am one of those people who is using it mainly for a diabetic treatment, with the side benefit of, well, maybe I'll lose some weight. And yes, both have been true. So, but losing weight is not a magic bullet for getting faster for running, and definitely not for getting stronger. So I do think that some of that's probably muscle mass, especially in the last few months when I haven't been doing anything. Like, I have been probably the most sedentary I've been since I broke my ankle in 2021. Sure. Yeah, so I really do want to get back into my strength training more consistently, and that is actually going to be a little bit easier over the summer because the kids will be down where I have my gym membership. That's where they're doing their summer camp, so I think that's going to help quite a bit. Basically, I'll drop them off and then go straight to the gym. That is the plan. And that's going to be my focus over the summer, is strength training. But my God, is it tempting to apply for Osaka again. The thing about Osaka, though, is it isn't a lottery, so I don't, like, I was honestly very lucky to get off the list. I don't know how many applicants they have every year, but, like, they take 34,000 runners, I think 34 to 36,000 runners. And I don't know if there was a wait list last year. Like, I don't know how many applicants they actually have. So maybe it'll be fine for 2028. I don't know. We're also rooting for Dallas to also get in on, actually 2028 would be perfect. He is going to obviously apply for 2027 and everything like that. But it's like, he does a whole bunch of like mini challenges throughout the year. And it'd be really nice if he just got off of one of the mini challenges. And it's like, all right, you're set to run 2028. Just decided. Done. That's actually how his cousin got in. She was doing the mini challenges. And it's like, so all these mini challenges, you run like a run or walk. So like I could apply through these. And you can do he's part of the like group that gets like extra applications and everything like that. It is a pay group, but honestly, that's fine. Oh, Flynn. Dude, how much have you thrown up hairballs recently? You didn't even throw anything up that time. It was just dry heaving. Oh no, it's a small hairball. It's still hairball season, apparently. But Anyway, yeah, anyone can enter Tokyo Marathon through these like little mini challenges. You walk or run 21K within a certain time limit, and then out of those entries, they draw 40 names or 40 numbers because you're assigned a number, blah, blah, blah. You have to track it on like the ASICS Run Keeper or something. Like they've got a very official way of doing it. And I think if you're not part of the group, it's like 1,500 yen per entry. So it really is not that bad. The run group does benefit him that if he gets like 1 entry into the lotto for the run group, 1 in the general entry, and then like next year, if he's not in already, it'll be his 3rd year applying through this with the run group thing, and you get like an extra entry through that too or something. Because here's part of it. I think his cousin said that she had been like applying for 15 years, and it's like, holy shit. But it's the same as London. It's like an insane number of applications usually as well. So we'll see. He has also applied for London. So it'd be kind of cool if he got London this year and Tokyo next year. And then we're holding off on the remainder of the US ones. He is running Chicago this year. But like, he wants us to be down there for Boston and stuff like that. And I'm like, yep, that sounds good to me, but not right now. All right, Denim. You're not allowed to, like, weasel your way out of this. Thank you. There we go. No, Katie, you need to find the next bobbin. Because this one's also not completely full, so that means it's going to, like, run out faster. Damn. All right. Good. Did we catch that well enough? Let's run another. It's like right on the edge of it's probably okay, but let's not play that game right now. Especially after I just did that whole announcement about repairs. Oh god. Okay. But we've got 1, 2, 3 done and two ready to go. They were like mostly done, but had something that had to happen. One had like, it wasn't completely caught across the top, and then I caught the webbing in the bottom of the other one. Because when does it ever go like completely smoothly? Okay. I have the weight here. Boom, boom. Piece, and then sweet, it's all the little like grouchy cats. I really love this one right here under the label with the like scally face and those sunglasses. They're not even really sunglasses, they're just like tinted lens glasses. I don't even know if this denim matches this back, but it looks similar enough that we're going to use it. It doesn't really matter in some ways because they're like sewn together, but you don't really see them at the same time, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird half and half. All right, let's pop this up. Hi, why are you rubbing against the space heater? Yeah. What's up? Really? You want to come sit up in your cat tree? Flynn's down here like, you should adore me. I am cat. And I am adorable. Adorafloof. Yeah, you, what's up? Flynn Flon. He's like, nah, Mom, I'm out of here. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Ooh, right. And we do have some more of the Obi ones of these cut as well. More Obi belt bags cut. Not Obi-Wan Kenobi. But they need... I think we're like... There's a few Obi products right now. And that's just that I have not cut kimono for the interior yet. Shh, don't come at me. We've been busy. I feel like I drowned for all of like April and then the majority of May. Even though we weren't super like... I was not super productive in May. Like, well, okay, I was productive cutting, but I was not productive sewing. But it was like because all the energy went into birthdays. So we had two, like both kiddos had 2 birthday parties because I'm like, if I was a parent, I personally would not want family friends around my kiddos. Like I trust everyone, but I get it if not everyone has the same level of trust. So I was like, okay, we're gonna need to like split the birthday parties up and stuff like that. So that's what we did. And then yeah, Otafest and the half and blah 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 blah. Sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not actually complaining. It's just like I'm just realizing just why I feel so behind in some ways. And then I did actually reset the studio quite a bit as well between like getting this sewing machine in. We had a big supply run to the bins. So like doing the first process of the sheets. They're not done because they still need to all be cut. But I did I've trimmed all the so they've all been washed and dried. I trimmed all the elastics out or whatever. If they're duvet covers, like the buttons and the snaps come off and stuff like that. And like they get opened up because honestly they just store better, flatter, basically. But like that was a lot of work. And then now I've moved the shelf out and like trying to get the fabric room back to functional so I'm not having to like not always worrying that's going to be a tripping hazard, which is what I did the other day more or less. And I think what I will work on a little bit tonight. And then, once kiddos are home, because here's the thing is now I've cleared up the space so they can actually like sit and watch TV down here again. Because as much as I say we're going lower tech, we're not getting rid of TV. We're reducing the iPad usage as much as possible. That's what I really want to target. Because I do find that it can be more dysregulating. And the science does back that too, so. Whereas I think it's like when you're doing like the movie watching and stuff like that, it's more communal experience rather than being like disconnected on just your own personal device. Now, that does not mean that these children aren't like constantly sharing their devices anyway. Most of the time one of them is hanging over the other's device watching with them. So it's typically a communal experience anyway. But I do think that, yeah, there's so much other media to watch than just whatever they have on their iPad. The one thing I will say is I think, well, rainy days and stuff like that are still going to be the exception. We're also going to see how I do without Dallas home because, solo parenting is no joke. And there are games on their iPad. So I think that's maybe what we might shift more towards is it's like you can't watch on your iPad. But you can like choose a game and play for X. I think that's how we're going to proceed a little bit more with it. I am going to put a black, I know this sounds wild, but a black D-ring in with these cats because it's going to provide a nice contrast with the lighter colored webbing strap. Yeah. So now these ones look like they are a little bit darted, but that's okay. They still, having them like this means that they do maintain a better 3D shape I've been finding. So I'm okay with this outcome. Okay, I'm going to baste this in. Basically, this helps me provide a double stitch to the webbing, so it's like ultra secure in the bag. I have yet to have the stitching for these guys come out, so you know that's always a point in the or a thing in the right direction. So yay. Okay. both sides. What time is it? It's only 3:15. I have almost 2 hours left, which is pretty awesome. So I have a very good feeling that we'll be able to get like the majority of these at least to this point. And then part of what I'll do tonight also will be to turn them and do like the finishing on them if we don't get to that before I leave. So we're gonna have stupid easy dinner tonight. I'm going to do mac and cheese and hot dogs. Hot dog. And then I've got like frozen broccoli, so I'll steam some broccoli. I'm like, I always go and buy veggies with the best of intentions for like, here, I'm going to actually make fresh veggies this week. And I just don't. But knowing this, it's like, I'm going to start trying to kind of like ensure that I've got more like frozen veggies on hand. So I always have peas and stuff like that and corn, which are both very good veggies. And broccoli, which I really like. Hi. Yes, I know. Are you quality control inspecting today? Come here. Come on. I just need you out of the way so I can actually sew. Or not out of the way, but like position different. Hi, why are you freaking out? Dude, do you want up in your cat tree? There's a heating pad on up there. This is Flynn, by the way. He says hi, apparently. He's like, I am quality control inspecting today. I am the fluff. And the fluff bottom. There. That look good? Yeah. Do you want me to open the curtain for you? Is that why you don't want to be up there right now? Probably. It's like, I can't see anything, Mom. Hey, lady. I can't. Oh, it's sunny outside now. Windy AF, but sunny. And we're still getting a little bit more blown out. Oh, well. Okay. Have to keep the cat happy. They are integral to the business. Quality control inspectors and all that. So, okay. Get this shoved under the machine. Doom, 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 doom. And yes, I do still backstitch that strap, even though we've already done, even though it's the second line of stitching. Just extra security on the webbing. Lift. Okay, there we go. So basically what I was just doing there is I'm making sure that the seam here folds back towards the denim because that's going to create the best framing, I find, of the fabric. Was that a conscious decision? No, but knowing what I know from the Kato, it will be what looks the best versus folding it this way. And then what ends up happening is it looks like the pattern fabric is like kind of like, it's not that it's overtaking, but it's like, it looks like it's almost like, at least my experience with the Kato is that it looks like it's like bulging. Oh, it just looks weird. So I like framing with the secondary fabric more than framing with the pattern fabric, which probably doesn't, like, it's details that probably no one else sees, but I definitely notice when I'm working on it. And we are our own worst critic. So, critic. I feel like, Katie, you're still drinking like coffee at 3 p.m. Yeah. That kind of day, y'all. I was up way too late scrolling. It was dumb. Should I be prioritizing sleep? 100%. Am I? No. Okay, now we should use the same interior fabric so that hopefully the seams nest correctly. I've never never been bothered by my interior seams. And I've definitely never looked at them, so I'm not worried about it. Okay. By the way, I have been accepted to Art Market in November, and if you're not following them on Instagram, you definitely should be, because they're actually posting a lot of previews from a lot of the vendors that are going to be there in November. And my God, some of the work, I'm like, I already know what I'm going to send, like which booth I'm going to send Dallas to buy my Christmas gift. It's a jewelry maker out of Revelstoke, and her work is like, it's very organic, and it's just really pleasing. Let me see if I can actually see her. Anyway, I like this one because this is the local maker. Or like I said, this one, the floral. Nice and simple, and it was like fairly inexpensive. This other one works with like, okay, just making sure that I'm not missing anything super insane. Good. Good. Cadgan. It's like Cadigan. Anyway, so she works with like precious stones as well as like gold and silver and all of that. But like, it's just, woo, sorry, where's my camera? Like, look at that piece. I really like it. So definitely more expensive than I normally would spend on myself. But I'm like, these are good like gift ideas. I really like these guys. So a little bit more raw, like unfaceted gems, raw gems. So they're not like super reflective and things like that. But like, I like my nice clean stuff, and then I like the more organic stuff too. This is gorgeous. Anyway, if you're not following Art Market, that's how I found out about her. And she is in Revelstoke, which is super cool. She's like fairly close by. Well, not close by, it's 5 hours away, but like local enough. Wow. Okay. This one's actually got a sapphire, and it looks like the sapphire actually has like, down at the bottom there actually has green. Woo! Where are we going? Up, down. We're going down. Anyway, blue at the top, green at the bottom. Adore it. So, once I found out her booth number, I will be sending Dallas there for Christmas gift. Yeah. Why are you fighting me? It's these sassy cats. They're like, we are not gonna line up. Why do you want us to line up? Sassy cats. Sassy cats. What are you sassing about? Sassing here, sassing there, sassing about everywhere. Doon doon. Joke for sassy cats. Meow, meow. Oh yeah, I guess it would be sassy cats. Sassy cats. No, I like sass in here, sass in there. Sassy cats everywhere. I want to sew us up so you can be a good bag for someone. We gotta wind our next bobbin. Stop forgetting. I've lost count. What? 4? 4. Oh, right. That's what I was doing that sped this process up a little bit before, was I was sewing it up until that like last bit, and then like putting it underneath and sewing it more. Oh my God, we are so blown out. Let me see if I can get this color better. This is where I want to be. Turn the brightness down. That's a little bit better. Methinks. Doo-doo. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Where the hell did it go? Did it go? There we go. Better. Sweet. Take the clip off. This one's also getting a white Off-white strap. Okay. Trim down a few of these threads that can particularly pop to the front and be annoying if they show up. Ugh. Actually, I can't decide. I don't know if I like this little like sunglass guy or this little gray tabby better. They're both really sassy and really awesome to like spot on this fabric. Just like, perfect. But they're all so sassy. It's all just so good. Anyway, this will be available in the next shop update that I am photographing this weekend. What is the date on Monday? I don't want notifications. I just want my calendar. Wish the MacBook had an easier way to get into the calendar. Oh yeah. Okay, I was like, it was going to be on the 15th. It's not going to be the 15th anymore. Maybe we'll do it for the 20th. I think, yeah. I'll try and like launch for the 19th. Because that's the day before my birthday. Because why not? Yeah. Launch on the 19th. Photograph this weekend. Edit on Monday. Launch on the 19th. That feels mostly doable, I think. Maybe. Okay, we are definitely cranking along here. I'm quite pleased. I do feel like we will probably get the remainder finished before I need to head out tonight, which is awesome. That was like the unspoken goal, I think. Goal was progress, for sure. But I think we'll actually complete at least this step. I think we'll get everything sewn together. We might not get everything like turned and finished, but everything will be like to that step. That is the step that we'll have to finish. Actually, I've got soccer tomorrow night. Oh, but it might be raining during it. I was like, I could bring it and like turn them at soccer. That's not a big deal because I can still watch while I'm turning. Might still do that anyway. Like anything I finish over the next couple of days. Today and tomorrow. Next couple of days. Like the next hour and a half and tomorrow. I actually got my ass online or ass downstairs before like 1. I'd get a lot more done. The oomph got up and oomphed without me, I think, over the last little bit. It's not burnout, but it's like, it's pretending. Oh my god, wind your damn bobbin, Katie. Problem with like winding the bobbin right now is that I don't have a very long period to actually hold the thread. Here, anyway, whatever, suck it up, Katie. Haha, is it winding? Yes, okay, good. It's like one of the shortest amounts that you can do, and it's still wind properly. Sometimes if it doesn't catch properly, it'll just like, the thread will just roll around on the bobbin, and it's like, doesn't wind, and then you get to the end of it, of the other bobbin, and it's like, oh, it didn't even wind. Actually, no, I do normally end up remembering to check that. Like now. Yep, we're winding. Good. I need to hydrate more. More water. I need to actually wash my water bottle. That's a big thing. Ooh, we gotta do dishes tonight, speaking of that, because the kids will need their those things. Lunch kits need to be washed tonight, so that we've got lunch kits for the next couple days. That's right. All right. Trim all that down. And with the threads. Yay. Good. 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 Another black D-ring. Also, I have a crap ton of D-rings. Where did I put them? That would be good to know, because I have a feeling I can't get more right now again. Should actually put another 500 or whatever on back order. Also, a friend recommended a new massage therapist for me, and my goodness, is she good. That's not to say that if either of my old massage therapists came back, I wouldn't drop her at, like, the drop of a hat. But she's definitely better than the last one I've been seeing. The last one I've been seeing has been good enough for what I've needed, mostly. But this one was definitely better. Speaking of which, I probably should stretch. She's like, you need to do more front opening things. I'm like, yes, I know, I'm sorry. She's like, why is your left side so tight? I'm like, I don't know. It's always been the problem child. And then I was realizing, and then I was like, wait, no, that makes sense, honestly, because it's the driving side for the sewing machine. And then the other factor is it's the phone arm most of the time, I think. Oh, there we go. That's the spot. Oh, okay. Better. Mostly. Hi, where is your strap? Did I need to cut another strap for you? Boom. You also don't have a strap. Oh. Boom. Oh, that's because they're both here? No. Boom. Oh, apparently I didn't plan correctly because there is not a strap there. For... Boom. Okay, I don't have a black strap, and I also do not have a natural colored strap. Oh, no, it's on my fucking lap. But I do need to cut. What? Did I already stitch it in and just completely blank? No, okay, I'm not that far. Not that far gone right now. But I do need another... Should we... Oh, right, we're going to do light for this one, too. Okay, so we need one light strap for the pixel cats. Okay. Blah. Brains are not exactly the strong suit right now. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. All right. Get the large piece of denim on here in a moment. And then we can do the interior. And then we'll leave the tops to chain piece at the end, because I just realized that that is how we've been doing it and where we've been saving some time on these bags. Literally on the last, like the previous bag that we sewed. At least I realized it before that I finished all the bags. I would have been highly unamused with myself. threads off because that's annoying. Yep. The bobbin literally just finished winding, by the way. Perfect timing. Got into time to batter. Nope, nope. So an hour and 40 minutes, and we got what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. So an hour and 40, and we've sewn like 5. Plus a couple extra like repair things. So that's not bad. 40, so that's like what? 500 minutes. So 20 minutes per to assemble this portion. Okay, so yeah, these do need to have I probably should do a reassessment on timing on them for like cutting and stuff like that, and then we'll figure out if their pricing needs to change or not. Because here's part of it. The person sewing these now is not the person who was sewing them even like what, a year ago, right? So okay, we need one more natural colored strap, off-white strap, ivory, whatever the fuck you want to call it, which is here on the table. Just making sure that I don't have any more on the poles there, but it doesn't look like it. I know. Oh well, if I've started another, it's all good. It's not like it goes bad. Big clumps on there. Okay. We are going to turn you down a little bit. Like, I am cold, but I am no longer that cold. There. Okay. This is 1 inch, right? Okay, good. Just like get it, and like I've had it for too long. Not that we couldn't find a use for like smaller, but everything is set up for 1 inch right now. Okay, so there's the off-white. We'll fray check it, and we'll go in. And so pixel cats. Whew, that was crunchy. Oh no. Very crunchy. Oh my goodness. Although, remarkably, it does feel better. All right. it's drying a little bit before we put it in the bag. I put in this black and silver, so we'll probably go with black hardware then. You're not right. You're the right one. Okay. That goes with someone else. I don't know who. Or we just have spares. I think we're gonna, over the summer, take all the like bits and pieces of the small stuff that's like just kind of randomly here now. For whatever reason. Apparently I can't keep track of my stuff very well. And do a like, I think I might call them patchworks or something like that. Because it's like just a bunch of denim that all looks somewhere but isn't necessarily, like it's just kind of not right. It's mostly right, but it might be like a little bit darker or a little bit lighter or whatever. So it's like, may as well use the fabric I have even if it's not perfect, right? So kind of continues the ideology behind the upcycling of the denim a bit better than even just upcycling the denim necessarily. So wind the bobbin, wind the bobbin, time to wind the next bobbin. Bobbins need to be wound, so you have bottom thread. Wind the bobbin, wind the bobbin. Wind the bobbin, she demanded. Wind the bobbin. Wind the bobbin, wind the bobbin, so she said. Wind the bobbin, wind the bobbin. Now the thread is going on. It's time to wind the bobbin, so we have bottom thread. We had so much rain last week. When any of us who like lived through the 2013 floods were like watching the water like, oh, let's hope that the mitigations that we've put like millions and billions of dollars into in this province actually work. And yeah, I don't know if we didn't have as much rain or if they actually worked, but no one flooded. Hallelujah. Because yeah, that was insane. But anyway, a lot of it again was taken up by snow in the mountains. Like to the point where I think Sunshine said that they're actually going to reopen for a few weeks, which is, I haven't heard that since I started like living here. Do you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna turn that off, and then you can have like a full view instead of having this block your view. I am sorry, that was dumb. Turn the brightness up a bit again. And honestly, it needs to be a bit... Yeah, there we go. I'm like... It's looking a little bit like... super dim. There we go. That looks better. On my end. Hopefully it looks better on your end too. Anyway, I have enough light to work with without having that on. So, may as well turn it off and put it away. Anyway, no flooding. Yay. It's good. Good choices have been invested in. Maybe. I don't know. We have a referendum coming up this fall, including a soft yes question for a referendum on separation, which is just insanity. It's going to cost so much money. Like, more than a provincial election. So, I don't know what's going on anymore. Some days, it's like, I really want to just leave and go somewhere, but the thing is that doesn't solve any of the problems. It's like, we just come back to them. Unless you like dropped completely off the face of the earth, and I'm like, no, I know that's not possible either. But my God, do I wish it was some days. Do I have cat problems? Mostly. And is our country actually at war? Not physically. There we go. That's it. We are not physically at war with anyone. We are at war with misinformation and distrust. There we go. But it's not the same. It's just as life-threatening though, so in some ways. Again, not physically, right? But like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, right? Anyway. Okay. So we're also going to step out the zoom. I'm like, you are zoomed in too far. Let's see. Boom. Let's go to like that. There you go. That's better. Well, I'll probably change the camera angle tomorrow just because I'm like, I'm bored at this angle. I think it's time to like, I don't know, go to a side angle again. Side view. Pixel cats. Oh, no, not yet. Pixel cats. Pixel, pixel, pixel cats. Pixels here, pixels there. There are pixels everywhere. Dun dun. Watch out for pixel cats. I don't know. Kitty cats. Meow, meow, meow. Kitty cats are everywhere. Meowing here, meowing there. They are meowsers here and there. Meow meow. Watch out for kitty cats. We got a couple other things actually we need to look at over the summer. I've had someone ask for bike caps. This was like last year, so I really should look at getting into that. And someone who's like wants chalk bags for climbing. I'm like, okay. We're chatting. We actually saw each other at Otafest again. I was like, I'm so sorry. I have not had a chance to like do this. I just got equipment that should allow me to do these like more effectively, i.e. the cylinder arm machine, because we were actually chatting and he was looking at the kato and said that that was basically what they need. I'm like, sweet, I can do that. So I gotta just do up a couple prototypes for it. I think the big thing being that we have to shift there will be no wristlet, and then we have to shift the like loops for connection point to the back, because then they can like keep it on them easier, I think. I don't know, we'll prototype a couple different things. His big thing is it needed to be stiffer. So I think what we'll do is we're going to do the canvas cotton exteriors with the interfacing. Maybe we'll use the paper interfacing because it's like stiff. And then I'm thinking wax canvas for an interior, because that will provide the most amount of body that we would need, right? Or would provide the body that we need for it. Because basically it's got like the katos stand on their own pretty well, but like obviously I'm not making a like stand bag for knitting right now. The other way we could do it is we could throw actual stabilizer in it, but that would be a lot with the canvas too. So I think the better compromise is wax canvas interiors. And I feel like that would be smoother and like less, it would cling to the chalk list as well. Oh, that did not catch that denim well for the back here. Let's make sure that that actually gets brought up proper to like the top here. Because that's way too short. Anyway, so that's a project that's on the horizon. Has been for a bit, but it's better to like be able to discuss them in person, sort of thing. Sometimes. This has to be, that has to reach that line as best we can. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Lined up now. Good. There's a little bit more stretch in this denim, so makes sense. Now the interior. I don't know why I have the Spider-Man songs stuck in my head. It's not unusual. It's just annoying. It's not like it hasn't happened before, and it won't happen again, but I don't know why I get earworms while I'm streaming. Trim it down because we're chain piecing, chain piecing, chain piecing. Don't trim it down because you're chain piecing. Think about what you're doing, kitty. Look at what you're doing, you're chain piecing. And in this case, it's not that I'm actually going to another piece, it's just that I'm like not trimming it over the gap. That's all that's happening. No trimming over the gap for the turning. Hoping that we leave enough space for the turning. Okay. And yes, we have one more seam to finish on that, but we've decided that we'll do that at the end. Five more. Five more. Five. Oh God, that is enough coffee. My body just went, you're done. I was like still a sip in there too. No. Ooh. This is the wild thing sometimes about like, especially going up in dose with the Ozempic, is it's just like your body's like, okay, done. No more. Just cut it out. I actually do want some gum though, because that'll help with any like angry gut. Where did that go? Dallas steals my gum a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me that I ended up upstairs. I thought that I had it here. There it is. Like buy myself specific gum and then I stash it away. It's like, that is mine. Leave it alone, please. I'm just like, sorry. Look down and I'm like, if I pick all this up, it'll be out of my way and visually it'll be more pleasing. Yeah, that's better. That is better. So now I've moved the shelf. I moved a shelf out of the storage room. I haven't fully settled it in the other room because it's heavy and it's on carpet. So I just need to straighten it out. Need to pull the rest of the stuff off of the table that was in the spot where it was sitting, or it will sit. And then I just need to like transfer some stuff in. But it's, yeah, I'm just like looking at the back here and I'm like, there's like totes, like a lot of what's in the room right now that's messy can get moved onto those shelves, and it's going to help clear this space out a lot, at least visually on that side. A lot of what's here behind me right now is probably going to stay, I think. I don't know. It's like the small box bag tote, like a bin, small box bag bin. I guess I should go through that and actually make those small box bags too. And I'm like, I'm going to cut new small box bags. I am going to cut new small box bags because here's the key to success is a range of products, right? I definitely have a maximalist booth, so. And so far it has served me well. So we're not going to I'm not going to change it. It is one of the fail points I had with Otafest is like I didn't have enough of my mid-range cost items. So stuff like the mini, or not the minis, but actually, yeah, the minis and the actual like traveler slings. I didn't have enough of either of those. I do think that they appeal and sell better than at least the belt bags, apparently this year at least. I wonder if belt bags have gone out of style. I hope not, but we'll finish these up. We'll see how they sell over the summer. I probably just won't need to sew, like make more over the summer, which that's fine. That's good. We'll finish up what we have cut. There's a few more on the table, and then I'll see how they do before I commit to more. I do know that we got to do the run of minis because they've been still consistently good. We need to finish the Dundern I have cut. I need to select more to make. I want to finish up. I've got like 3 Cambridge cut that need to be done. I would love to experiment on the Sheena that I have cut right now that are old, so that we could actually maybe reintroduce that now that we've got the cylinder arm machine, because I really do think that being able to sew the curve on a curve is going to make it so much easier, or at least produce better results with less tears. I've actually not cried over a bag, but definitely less frustration. So we'll see. I have to get myself set up so that I can start working at night again. Because thinking about it, I actually only have 3 weeks of work over the summer. The kids are in care. Because I took 1 week because I was like, we're going to be out in BC, and then they won't get to camp until Wednesday. So they'd only have 3 days at camp, and that's really expensive to only use like 3 out of the 5 days. So we skipped that week. I don't know if it's a smart decision or not, but it was the decision. I think it was probably the better decision, but I'm like, damn it, Katie, why are you so cheap? You can write these off on your taxes. Hey, Flynn. Yeah, you. How you doing? Meow, meow, meow. Hi. Yes, hello. Yes. Oh, you're such a handsome boy. Okay, with this one, I am definitely doing rainbow hardware because the ones that came through this time are going to look really good with it. And then the hardware that'll be on the strap is black, but on the bag, it'll be rainbow. It's kind of like iridescent colored. It's really cool. Just add a little bit pizzazz to an already pizzazzed fabric. Because, oh my God, yes, it like contrasts with the black so well and so nicely. That's the big thing. All right, we're definitely using trying to use the shorter pieces here. for these because that makes sense to me. So apparently, okay, back this up I guess a bit. I went, book club was last night. So we were reading When the Moon Hatched for May, which I skipped unfortunately because of Otafest prep. It was the best decision in the end, but it felt really weird because I have not like missed one when I have been in town. So like I missed one for going out to Victoria last year, and I missed one for basically only for travel. So like it was weird. But anyway, I did not miss last night. I did finish When the Moon Hatched, but I DNF'd Ballad of the Fallen Dragons. And now I'm like torn about whether I'm actually going to finish it or not after they talked about it last night. I'm like, the timeline for this is actually insane. I'm like, I cannot tell. Like, I cannot tell what service, what any of this is serving. What purpose any of this is serving. There we go. Which tells me she's kind of lost the plot. Like, that's the thing. I'm like, where the hell is this plot going? Like, what is going on? Are we fighting a tyrant king? Are we trying to like save this like repressed set of people from the tyrant king? Are we like worried about the moonfalls? Are we trying to bang the main male character? Because that wasn't happening either. Like, what is actual fuck is going on? And honestly, listening to it last night, I'm like, I still can't tell what the hell's going on, because it's like basically what seems to be the main plot for the second book doesn't even happen. It like, I'm just like, she's using so many words and saying so little, because this book is not small. And if the main plot isn't even happening in the book, this book that's 700 pages takes place over like 15 fucking days. And there's no space, or very little space. Apparently the scene that I've already listened to is the only one, basically. And I'm like, I give up. I don't know. Maybe I'll finish it closer to like when, oh shit, I forgot to do the stitch down. Wait, what? No, it's there. Yeah. And well, and then that's the other factor, is apparently this is supposed to be like a 5-book series. And I'm like, how? It should be 3 max. Like, come on. And it's kind of creepy. I'm like the love interest part. I'm like, so here's the thing. I really do adore. Okay. Spoiler alert. I'll wave when I'm done. I really like reincarnated romances. Sailor Moon definitely influenced that. But they both need to be reincarnated. The thing about it is that she's been reincarnated and he has not been. And it feels like, ugh. It's not forced because she doesn't say no, but it feels really skeezy. Okay, done. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm not super comfortable with the whole romance plot in this either, and I'm just kind of like, ugh. So I think I'm just going to DNF the whole series. I'm like, I don't need to participate in this. I'm really excited for next month. Next month's Priest, and I keep hearing it's really hot, like a really good smutty read with a lot of spice. So I was like, all right, I'm here for that at least. And I'm actually physically here for that as well. I'm actually skipping August again. I'm like, damn it. They're going to do Kiss of the Basilisk. They were going to have a hard time getting in the previous book that we had selected. So now they're doing Kiss of the Basilisk instead. which I think will be a better choice anyway, personally. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're down to 4. And it is 4:07, and we've sewn 7 in 2 hours. 7 in 2 hours means that, yeah, actually, okay, we'll be really close to getting done if we don't finish. I won't have to cut more straps or anything right now, so 7 in 2 hours means that we've done like, what's 2 hours? It's 120 minutes. Divided by 7. Yeah, about 18 minutes per bag. And that includes the faffing around of showing you jewelry and like chatting and just in general, like not being super locked into actually sewing and having to cut straps and fray check them and all of that. So I'm pleased with our progress. I didn't think we were actually going to get this much done today. So I was like, progress is progress. Get your ass in that sewing chair, Katie. And get streaming. I've missed streaming. Although I think I do need to do some other video stuff. I don't quite know what yet, but if you have any thoughts, please feel free to throw them in the chat or on a comment on this video if you're watching later. I've got some footage from creating a custom obi bag, so I think I'm gonna edit that and post it here. I just gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing. What do I want to do with this channel? The live streaming has worked really well. It makes sense for me, just given time constraints, because like editing videos just is not top priority for me. Although realistically it should be. Yeah, we do have a lot of content from Japan I should post still, so I think that's one of the things I'll work on in the next little bit. Stuff like that. So we'll see. It'll be a surprise for everyone, not just me. Right, because that's how it goes. Always a surprise. What I should do is I should actually just schedule and post the snack videos first off. We did not end up filming as many as I desired, but I'll get more. Like, whatever, it's not like I live in Japan, right? So it's like, it's going to change every time I go. So we'll do more next time. Blah, 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 blah. I went in because someone was saying that Costco travel was a really good deal for travel. And I was like looking at, I was like, okay, what is it for like a family of 4 for 12 days in Italy, like Florence, Rome. And then I think they added Venice in as well. I'm like, sure, Venice would be cool. $32,000 later. I'm like, is this legitimate? Can I do it? Or is it like something that I could do cheaper if I actually planned it? Because I think that did include, actually, yes, that did include the rail transfers and stuff like that. I should actually see what they quote for Japan. Because obviously I know Japan so well for generalized costs and stuff like that. I wonder what they would quote for that. Anyway, I was a little bit sticker shocked. I was like, woo. I'm nearly positive I could do it cheaper. I don't think we need to spend $32,000 for 12 days in Italy for 4 people. I guess that was flights and everything like that. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I've not looked at it yet. But not like that's even really in the cards right now, because it's definitely the next big family trip is back to Japan. Mostly because we're so comfortable there and the kids were treated so well. Like 10 out of 10 experience overall. Especially in Kyoto and Osaka. And next trip, like, there's so much for us to see in Japan that we haven't done yet. And obviously we're still going to be back in Kyoto because Nomura Taylor just treats me like above and beyond. But next trip we want to go down. Basically, it's going to be a completely different trip because I'm pretty sure we've agreed that we're going to go down to Nagasaki or Kyushu in general. I don't know if Nagasaki exactly. Oh, right. No, Katie, don't talk over you actually completing the bag, please. Yeah, like I just bring Nagasaki up, but we're definitely going to go south and go to like to the Kyushu area because Kumamoto is down there. Saga. Del keeps talking about Saga. I don't know why. But I keep getting like reels about South Japan and I'm like, sure, let's do it. I'll bite. So I think what we'll do is we'll fly in. We're going to do Tokyo Disneyland first because it's familiar and like as much as we'll be jet lagged, that actually works in your favor there because then you can line up early. So I think we'll do Tokyo Disneyland at the front of the trip. We can also take the airport bus right from the airport, which is really nice. And then we don't have to deal with the luggages, like luggage on the trains and stuff like that, which is not going to be as big a deal this time either. But also is like just one of those things that just takes that little bit of an edge off right when you start your trip. It feels more like vacation. So, and it's actually, I think it's cheaper too. Cheaper and more direct because getting to Tokyo Disneyland you have to like do this like I say it's a 45-minute walk. It definitely feels like a 45-minute walk to like Tokyo Station to get to freaking the Keio line to get to Tokyo Disneyland, and then you have to deal with your like luggage on that train. So yeah, just taking the airport bus to Disneyland at least would start our trip off nice. And then, like, train from there. Not a big deal. Like, Shinkansen from Tokyo Station. So my thought process is, excuse me, Tokyo Disneyland the first 2, maybe 3 days, depending on, like, what time of year we're there and stuff like that. And kind of what the itinerary is. Like, if Dallas is in Tokyo Marathon, it's different, and blah, 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 blah. I would forefront Tokyo Marathon for him, so that then the vacation is afterwards. This also depends if I'm in Osaka. Like, there's so many factors in it. It's actually kind of insane. I would prefer to be going in, like, May. Actually, no, end of April. I know it's like, right before Golden Week. But the thing about it is it's, like, I want to see the wisteria again. They were my favorite flower when I was there. Dallas has never been when it hasn't been dead or dying. That was the joke this time. It's like, you've always been here when it's like Hanami, which like it's dead, and then suddenly spring-ish. Or like November when the momiji out, which is literally dying leaves. So I'm like, let's like do something where it's actually like pleasant. Because February was not it. February was actually pretty gloomy and like everything was, again, dead mostly. Although we did get better, we actually got better sakura at this trip, I think, than we did when we went for actual Hanami. Because the early sakura were all in bloom when we were there. And plum blossoms. So, in some ways, we saw more that way. But in other ways, I'm like, it was very... I want to go when it's like green and warm. I don't want to have to like pack sweaters. There we go. Maybe some like light short sleeves or something. Excuse me. The denim didn't quite line up again, so let's pull it off and redo the edge. All right, we still have to do the top edge of all these. Right, because I was going to chain piece that. La 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 la. Yeah, whatever. There's what, like 3 more after this? Because this is 4, I think. There we go. Okay. One of you's gotta stretch just a bit. Stretch a bit, stretch a bit. One of you's gotta stretch a bit. So we can sew you down. Haha! I am successful. We are sewing in. Okay. like there was a flash on my wall. I'm like, where'd that come from? But there's a big truck coming down the hill, which makes sense. There we go. Sew it down, sew it down, sew it down to here. This edge here, which it looks like it does still. Yay! Good. There's just a little bit of discrepancy in heights, so just making sure everything will still. Oh my god, I'm sorry. My nose is itchy. It's like, hey, so we need to discuss the fluff, please, and thank you. Okay, last three, and now I really suddenly need to pee. So I am going to take a BRB. I'll go pee, and I'll come back, and we'll sew these down. This is going to get rainbow hardware. I think this one and this one and the paler blue one are also going to get rainbow. And then the last family crest is going to get black. All right. Yeah. Washroom break, and then I'll be back and we'll finish off the last three and the top seams of these, hopefully before I have to go pick the kids up. I think we're on track. Okay, sorry. That took a little bit longer than I anticipated. Okay, we're gonna finish this one, and then I am gonna head out because I have actually, you know what? No, we're done for now. We'll come back and finish these tonight. So thank you for everyone who joined me. I did want to at least still come say bye rather than just ending the stream. But I'll be back on tomorrow, hopefully for a longer day, and we'll get I think we're gonna work on the small box bags tomorrow. Like I said, hopefully I can kick my butt into actually getting down here more during the evenings as well. Anyway, hope you have a fantastic few hours, and I will chat with you all tomorrow. Bye.